Well, let's talk about dimensions. Some user ask about the automatic dimensions and what can we do with it. So let's do a quick review on all the ways that we can apply dimensions in our models. Um, Automatic dimensions is a very useful feature, but it's not fully developed yet, so we can't actually edit uh, the way we want automatic dimensions. Let's create something here. Let's start from the beginning. I got here a 2D plan, which is a DWG file imported into SketchUp, and I will use, as we should do every time we draw a house, I will use a splan to trace over the walls. I have no levels yet set it, so no levels, and this is just a drawing, it's not an object of SketchFramer. So first thing I will do is to create this as a 2D SketchFramer, as a SketchFramer object, and I will call this like a plan, maybe 2D plan. Okay, and now I will be creating. Now let's create first the geometry, and then I use the geometry to create the levels automatically. So something like C. I will use CNC. Just create, and then I will start. I will create. Just this. I will use this one to connect. This is a feature that we got in the next release. I could do this so much quicker, but yeah, let's do something. It's important to trace quickly for me. The easiest way. Just to be sure. And oh yes, I will use this. And everything seems to be okay. Let's see in tab view if everything is okay. No, it's not. It seems that it's quite bigger. This maybe has 90 and the profile is 89. Yeah, exactly. Well, we left this for another discussion. Okay, so we got this. We use transparency to see through. Let's create the openings. You should know how to do this at this moment. And let's choose the door, 2 points. And let's create the plan. Let's use CU 200. I know that I should start this conversation with a model done, but sometimes there are concepts that appear into the working that is may be useful for another users. So it's just a few minutes. Let's scale this a little bit. Oh, it has the opening, so I will erase this, erase, yes, again this, erase, okay, X and structure. Oh shit. That wasn't the idea. Okay, now it's okay. This is it. We don't need it, and this should be flip. Okay, now we got it. So now we will create the levels using this automatic detect and create. Yes, and then we got all the levels we need. Okay, so we got the levels. There are the levels in the right place, automatically detecting objects and placing the levels on it. Well, to dimension this, I want to show you a few things. Now, if we go to printing space, as we got levels, we have all levels and all dimensions automatically set for this object. But we can do too much with these automatic levels. I can select by now, we are working on it, but by now we can select it. So what you can do is to bring these options, and you can like show or hide these auto dimensions, change the size of the fonts, and the distance from the objects, let's say 15, and you see that I can massively edit the distance, and also if I want this center or outside the dimension, and the kind of tick that we can use, but not too much far from this. Then the tags, the labels have a different way of operate. Okay, we can change also the size of the letters, and we can change the name here, and will be updated into the model. But myself personally, I rarely use these automatic dimensions because when the models are complex, as we still cannot edit the way we want exactly these dimensions, I prefer to set the dimensions one by one, but it's very straightforward. As you may know, we can use this align dimension and linear dimension. It will be bringing you points here. We can also, of course, edit this, arrow close, and center. Okay, so I will be turning off this automatic dimensions, and this, yes, of course, this I can just bring, I can select and displace, move. Well, shit, this is in the next version, not in this version. But if I click and maintaining the dimension click, I hit delete, I can erase this dimension. I select and I hit delete. Okay. So I could use the align dimension, which is parallel to any line you want. So you can start adding dimension this way. Of course, if the model is big, it will take some time, but we are working on addition of automatic dimensions. So you could like create all the automatic dimensions first and then edit one by one. But this is one way to use dimensions on SketchFramer. Let's erase this one, all these dimensions, and return to the model. I want to show you one more thing, which is sometimes very useful. You may notice that entering into the levels on the project browser, on each level here, and I got all the levels, I will be entering to this level 1 when I got the walls. You will see here this little sheet of paper or plan. It says dimension here. This is in Spanish, of course. I will be turning the geometry on bounding box mode, which is more practical to do this, and I will enter it into this. Well, you notice that as soon as I press this paper here, this plan view, the camera turns into a top view, and the camera is set to parallel view. Okay, this is to give you, and also when you click on the screen, it automatically gives you the dimension tool. So this is to apply dimensions. This is like the dimension space, and you will be applying all the dimensions you want here. Of course, you can erase as well, because we are using here the Sketchup dimension tool, right? So I apply dimensions here, and I can dimension almost everything I want. I can use also the X to work with X rays in case I need it. I will dimension the plan which is below, everything. I can, this is, let me show you how this works. This is it's a view, but it also will orbit the camera. So you can see that it's applying a slice to the geometry, you see, and we can also like show this is, I don't have now here, but I can show the cuts as solid as well. I don't know, here. So you can see this is a section, and we create the section and place the camera on top, so you can easily add dimensions. And that's why you got these commands here. One is the reset camera, which position again the camera so you can place the dimensions again, and you can edit the distance of the cut. Okay, I can choose like 400 millimeters. So from the level position, the cut will be here 400 millimeters. The fold is 100 millimeters, and it's enough to just show you everything you need to see to place dimensions. But there's a very important thing here. I'm now working with this section in this dimension space, but when I hit return to model, look what happens with the dimensions I place. Return to model, it's gone. And this is to make simpler the workflow. You don't want, I believe, you don't want all the dimensions placed into the scene, into the model while you're modeling. It bothers you. So if I enter again into the dimension space, you will see all the dimensions appear again. Now, as I enter into full representation of profiles, you will see, you can see here that we got all the profile, the dimple, this is not the dimple, this is a bold hole position. So machine will be doing a bolt hole here if you got the tool in your machine. And of course I can again change the distance of the cut and reset the camera and return to the model. So let's go now to our printing space. So there are all the dimensions we placed into the different levels we work it. You see that we work it in this example only into the ground level. I got it, and now I can edit the size of these dimensions and also the endings of the dimension. But to adapt and to place, to set the placement of the dimension, I should go again into the dimension space. Let's hit save. Remember this position. Let's close this, go to our dimension space and move this. Let's move this here and let's move this here. Return to model, return to printing space, and you see we modified the placement. So this is very interesting in my point of view because it gives you a more deep control. It's more precisely, and it's a very useful tool. Again, we are working for the next release to edit the custom dimensions, but for now you got all these tools. You could also like place dimensions directly, of course, directly on the scene, but it's not the cleanest way to work. I could create using dimensions here, but this is not the most clean way to work, because later you will be mixing 3D space dimensions like this one with this kind of dimension space set, and it will be a mess. So that's all for now. See you later.